Well then, how's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing well. I'm still sorting stuff out on the computer. Hope you all have a good day, guys. It's been great weather over here in England. I don't know if it's been like over for you over in there in Ireland, mate.
It's been absolutely lovely, but at the weekend, I didn't really get to see much of it. I went out to a gig on Friday, and we were in the front row, and all of a sudden, a mosh pit started, and me, 46, my mate, 50, we weren't part of the mosh pit, nor did we want to be part of the mosh pit. And with a back injury, I just wanted to, stand there and enjoy the music. But apparently there was some crowd surfing, and one of me other mates had his drink knocked out of his hand and spilled all over. So he was about to commit murder. But fantastic gig. But one of them was an Arsenal fan. The Seattle Grunge Experience is what they're called, but they mostly tour in Ireland. They don't tour outside of it, but they're really, really good. I told you about this before.
Yeah.
We must get you over.
It just moves by its end.
Yeah, I've had problems like that where I went kind of up and down like an escalator.
We've got some people here already. We've got Ben. All right, mate. Hope you're doing well.
All right, Ben.
Doug. Evening, Doug.
All right,
Jen as well. Evening, Jen. I can see Martin underneath, but I can't tell if he's actually there or not. So I'm not too sure what's going on with him. We've got Gary Richards. We got Carl. Oh, evening, Carl. And then Gavin. I was literally just about to mention that, Gavin, because I've just seen your message to me. So yeah, Gavin sent me a message, basically saying that Jeremy Frimpong's agent has put a photo on Instagram with the caption "We are working," and they're in Manchester.
Okay. I think Muscusi said the same thing to me on Discord. Check out Discord, lads. We're on Discord.
I actually need to put a thing in there, probably, don't I?
You probably do. It'd be nice if you put in the Facebook. We're on AKM LFC on our Facebook. We're just under 3,700 followers, which is pretty cool. So yeah.
Yeah, I can share that photo now, actually, if you want me to share it.
Go on, let's have a look at it.
Let's have a look.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to sign for United or City. Usually isn't the Liverpool.
Yeah, so it says, I'm sure that says 10 hours ago when the thingy was taken. But yeah, as Gavin says there, apparently, Liverpool do work out of Manchester. I think as well as a fair few Liverpool players that probably live in in the Manchester area. Do you know what I mean? As well.
What the hell is he taking a picture of? He's taking a picture of the
motorway.
The motorway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a few penalty points doing that if he's driving
it. Jen says another Remy have a bath.
Oh yeah.
Gavin, apparently it's normal Liverpool work out of Manchester. Yeah. I think, like I say, a few people still do it. Still live in like Manchester and stuff like that.
Should the Liverpool go?
Alvarez or Gyökeres? He thinks that Frimpong is wank. Out of the two strikers, I'd probably take Alvarez, but that's probably a little bit of Premier League bias, and I don't want to be burned again by taking another Portuguese league striker as we have done with Nunes. So probably take Alvarez.
Portuguese.
Well, he played in the Portuguese league, didn't he?
Oh, right.
That's what I meant. Because Gyökeres isn't even with that. But yeah. Jen saying, do you still do the music?
I've kind of hung up my my mic for a bit, but I might, take it up and dust it off and spit some beats. You never know. When the mood hits me, I do write a lot. So Jen, just wait until the album comes out, and
You got Craig with us all the way from Canada, if I remember rightly. All right, Craig, hope you're doing well, pal.
All right, Craig, how are you?
And Ben says, boys, I've got one for you tonight. The club have pissed me off. Good. That'll be interesting.
Oh.
Scott Evening, Scott. Glad you joined us.
Scott.
Gareth says, I think Frimpong becomes a Liverpool player and can also see Jonathan David too. I think if we do sell Jota and Nunes, Jonathan David is a decent buy, considering you wouldn't need to do any transfers. Do you know what I mean? About that. So you don't have to do like a transfer fee. You have a big signing on fee, for instance, but it won't match what it'd probably be worth as a striker. I don't know. I've still got a sneaky feeling you might end up at Barcelona, but
this is all part of your transfer 2.0 video, isn't it? That's coming. Wait until I'll tell you guys what. If you thought 1.0 was good, wait until you see 2.0.
I've actually written my notes for it already. I just need to record it now. So,
what a pro! What a pro!
Gavin says, regarding Trent yesterday, I won't surprise reaction. We're going to talk about that in a bit, mate.
Yeah. We want to get that over and done with, to be honest.
I'm waiting for mine. I can see him at the bottom, but I can't see him on the, in the little box, like the little camera. Like I can see you and I can see me, but I can't see him. All I can see is a background. So I'm just waiting for him to pop up. Miss Scoozy's with us. I'd get Trent on a free when his contract runs out.
He's just after sending me a message saying, let me in. Sounds like Bray Wyatt there, but...
okay, I'll let him in, but I can't see him. See what happens.
He might just pop out of nowhere. 20 is not forever. I like that.
Well, he's on, but I can't see him.
He's not. Now he's... Oh, hold on a second.
Take him off until he's done. What he's doing.
Martin, what are you doing? You need to unmute yourself.
Seen today, David has opened talks with Napoli. That'd be interesting, considering they were linked with our lad Nunes yesterday. So they're definitely on the hunt for a strike. Aren't they like top of the Serie A as well? I'm pretty sure they are. They're doing well then. Literally just waiting for Martin to join, guys. I tell you what, see if there's any. Let's talk about the video I did earlier on today, Shauna. What did you make of the links with? Well, I won't say links, but what do you make of the thing that I came up with regarding, Aitonore changing agency to an agency that Liverpool have got big ties with, and he was linked to us heavily about a year ago. And it's gone off the back burner. It seems to be like Kirkes, but with what Edwards did the last time we signed another left back in Shimikas, when I think he played Shimikas off against, I want to say Lewis, like Jamal Lewis, something. He played for Norwich or something like that. He played them two off each other and we ended up getting Shimikas. Do you think that all this Kirkes news potentially could have been just like, oh, we've moved on from him, we don't want him anymore, and then this has happened? I don't know.
I mean, it really all depends. I mean, we could speculate and till the cows come home, and Liverpool could end up doing the complete opposite. I have this saying: "Don't be surprised, and you're not disappointed." I expect them to do as little business as possible.
Is he?
Oh, there he is.
I don't know how to do it. I got a new laptop, but it's gone fucked up already.
He's now without the oh, so funny.
I'm here anyway.
I know I've just been talking about this thing, but Ben, I saw something like that happening 2 weeks ago, mate. So Ben's basically put here that he's received a lovely email this afternoon, 5 minutes before the club shut, that they've decided to ban his membership. He's never gone against terms and conditions. They got rid of him, 3K into his account. And he gets this. Done some digging into it, and the word on the street is the club are banning people who have Palace on their card so they can spin them for a package seat. 3 of my mates have been banned as well. Mate, I've seen that for a couple of weeks now, that the club are banning people. Regarding with the memberships and stuff. Yeah, I've seen it. People have been going on about that for a couple of weeks now.
Because what they went
last game of the season, when they're gonna lift trophy up.
So they went for Palace in the the lottery kind of system. So what, like, why would you do that?
Is this for everyone selling the tickets or something?
Maybe. I don't know, but as Ben says there, he's done not wrong, and 3 of his mates have also been banned.
Yeah. Sean, just a quick one. When you were going on what Jen was saying about yours, you know, he's doing the music and stuff, and you were like, "No, I'm doing writing now." Gemma's just sat along in front of me, just laughing, calling you a dick.
No, it's not calling nothing. I was just laughing.
That's I know, Jen, I know Gemma, that you wouldn't laugh at me. You know, I know that you like me staring aiding you.
I'm more technical.
What do you think about that?
So, I mean, shall we bring up the subject of Trent and get it over and done with, folks?
Well, what did you think about what I mentioned about Ben?
I think it's a disgrace, to be perfectly honest with you, if that's what the club are doing. It just, I mean, they were doing a survey where they were asking about ticketing.
Oh, I got that as well. Yeah, I got that.
I did that, and they were talking about improving things, but if that's what they're doing, I don't see how that's improving anything. So I think
I can't comment on. I don't know about it.
Yeah, well, I think if Spirit of Shankly are representatives of the fans on board level, they would want to get their finger out and look into that, because I think that's disgraceful. Who would not want to put themselves in a raffle and pick the last game of the season? And why would you ban someone for doing that? Like,
it makes no sense whatsoever.
It makes zero sense, and I think they need to bring out a statement. The club need to bring out a statement and say why they're doing it, or to apologize for doing it, because it like, you know. And don't talk to me about like fans actually getting the ticket and then reselling it, because they advertise the resellers, so they're advertising, you know, the companies that are ripping off the fans. So that's a massive thing, Ben, and I'm very sorry to hear that your membership has been cancelled. That's horrible.
He's got another one here. He says, the club reckon they have proof of me selling, touting. I've never missed a game for a few years now. They reckon they have proof, but I'm not on X and don't promote Spurs anywhere. Completely clueless.
But then I'd get on to them. I would ring them. I would sit outside Liverpool, and I would look for an explanation. I would look for proof of that. And I'd even contact a solicitor, if I'm fucking honest with you. I would be so pissed off with that. I really would. I'd be so pissed off with that.
It's pathetic. It really is. You know, you try and go to the game, and when you try and do it, you're just getting shagged, really, or sanctioned.
And Ben, I would, if I were you, I would contact Spirit of Shankly. I know, you know, we've mentioned them in not a very good light, but if they're going to represent the fan base, they need to be told that. And your friend who's been done as well, they need to be contacted. There's Garrett Roberts, aka Robo Hutton. I don't know what his real name is, but I don't know why he's got an alias, but whatever. But if you contact him, he's the spokesperson, so I'm sure he could bring that up on Off the Ball fan debate, and bring it to his you know, bring it to the fan base, or bring it to Spirit of Shankly, because that's a fucking disgrace, that.
Yeah. Hope you get it sorted, Ben. Keep us updated as well, so we can talk about it again, you know, and bring light to the situation, with everything that's going on, mate. Oh, I've just got a notification about Fabrizio Romano.
Fabrizio Romano.
He's talking about Fring Pong. It's popped up, so I'll see that later.
Do you know when this Fring Pong first came on? I was going, what the fuck are you going for Cinema Pingoli fella again? I was like, no, he's because it didn't click about the names. I will keep muting my mic as well, because I've got kids outside playing football.
Yeah, no bother. Hey, well, you just completely froze yourself, mate. Don't know about that, everything else, but yeah.
Martin,
you froze then, mate.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, you froze.
I said I probably keep muting my microphone because I've got the kids outside playing football and rugby and fighting and arguing with each other.
Yeah. Nice one, mate.
I'm really taken aback by what Ben has just said there.
Fucking take it this lad, swear to God.
All right, Gemma.
Right.
How are you, darling? I'm really taken aback by what Ben said. I would go further. I wouldn't accept that whatsoever.
Muscuja says he's just bought a table tennis set. Speaking of ping pong.
Ping pong.
So then, guys, I guess we'll just get into it, shall we? This Trent situation. So I'll just lay the table out a little bit because I may have to jump off because this guy's been parked outside my house for about 5 minutes now. This Amazon, nothing else.
It just keeps freezing.
I hope he doesn't deliver a bag of shite like my Amazon driver.
1 minute, I'm gonna go now because I tell you what, I'll just. He said he's delivered it from a letterbox. Yeah, is he? Fuck. Hold on a minute, right? I won't be long.
So it's about time that we ran the show.
Taking over. Sure. Did you see Gemma when I've taken the laptop round? Then?
I did. Yeah, I winked at her.
All right, it just all froze.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, if it freezes on Gemma, we're all happy. We're all happy.
He did put it through a letterbox.
He did.
Oh, give an apology.
So this Trent situation. So for those of you who are in the Discord, you would have heard what I said about it earlier on. Basically, I don't think I'm in any position or anybody's in any position to tell anybody what they should and shouldn't do regarding it. You can have your opinion on whether you think it's right or whether it's wrong, but at the end of the fucking day, why is there, the 2 times I've seen Liverpool win the league, there's always fucking something that tries to take away the spotlight from it. I mean, like when we won it 5 years ago, COVID. Now everyone's fighting in the fucking stands over fucking Trent. We've just won the fucking league. If the kid don't want to be here, he doesn't want to fucking be here. End of. And the thing is as well, with his fucking contract situation, if you believe what was alleged, he was offered a 6-year deal before this one expired, and he turned it down for a 4-year deal. Why did he do that if he loved the club so much? Not saying he doesn't love the club as in fan, but if he didn't, I personally think he's had this planned for years. He's had this planned. That's why he signed a 4-year deal instead of a 5 or a 6-year deal. I couldn't give a fuck anymore. Someone mentioned something earlier on, and they basically said something along the lines of he's basically a Real Madrid player wearing a Liverpool shirt right now. So I ain't asked either way, but I know you two have got opinions as well, so I'll mute myself and let you guys just have what you want to say. Martin, if you want to go first, since you're
I'll go first because fucking none nuts will just go on for half an hour for everyone to sleep, even though he's been pre-warned.
Go on.
No, I just think the situation with him, he's given everything for the club. We got him as a little boy. We haven't paid. Justify his actions for coming out and making his decisions. To me, if the lad wants to go, let him go. He's got my blessing. It's like us going to a different job after we've been there for so long. Why should I be called a traitor? I'm going better scenery, better weather, different culture. I'm going to learn new languages. Got friends out there. He's done everything here. We can't deny him that. We just know he's going to regret it. If he cocks up once, then fans are going to turn on him. And he has to accept his consequences. I don't understand why people are calling him a rat. He's one of our own. He's still a Liverpool player till the 1st of June or July, whichever it is.
Martin, we keep losing you, buddy.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, Martin, we keep losing you. You might have to use your phone to get on the stream there because we keep losing you.
I don't know if any of them come through there.
Nothing came through. Yeah, You're cutting out. You'll need to go on to your mobile maybe, because whatever laptop you got there, it's it's not working. It keeps on disconnecting, keeps on freezing.
No, he's not moving, is he?
But like to sum up what okay, he's gone now. So like while he's gone, I think to sum up what he was saying is that he was one of our own. He's decided to leave. More power to him, and that's it. And we should let him leave gracefully and not boo him. I think that's basically what Martin is saying. Now, again, as Adam would say, you know, we can't dictate to how fans voice their opinion. I had put up 2 polls on Facebook. So one of them was I put up about 24 hours ago, and checked out 6:45 the results of it. So the first poll is: did Trent deserve to be booed? 25% of the people said yes, he did. 55% said no. 19% said I can understand why, but didn't like it. So there was 130 votes there. There was another poll that I put up was: should Trent be left out of the remaining games of the season? That was put up about eight hours ago. And again, this was the results of this was taken at 6:45. There were 60 votes here. So again, should Trent be left out of the remaining games of the season? 33% said yes. 60% said no, and 6% depends on Bradley's fitness. So very much a kind of you know, from what I'm getting on those polls is that, you know, it's a kind of a mixed bag. People kind of understand why he was booed but didn't like it. Majority of people didn't like the fact that he was booed. I've heard of fans giving out to each other when he was coming on and when he was booed each and every time he got the ball. Rory Jennings, although a Chelsea fan, said Liverpool fans have a right to boo Trent. He went on about tribalism, loyalty. He was critical of Trent and how he left. He basically said that he sold the club down the river. Obviously, there's some other comments there. Now, this particular journalist I'm not going to mention, but he was on about the celebration, this celebration that he did when he scored a goal. I can't remember who it was against, but he says gaslit us all season and thought he'd get away with it because we've won the league. And then Jack Lusby says the celebration cannot be forgotten. All of this is a prime example of why the reaction is so fierce. So that was one of the reactions. There was a quote there from James Pearson, The Athletic. What happened to You'll Never Walk Alone? Clearly, you do in some people's eyes if you run down the contract and decide to move to Real Madrid on a free transfer. That's James Pearce. Rio Ferdinand says, I can't believe Liverpool fans booing one of their own. I understand that some of you guys are not happy with the decision, etc. But to boo Alexander-Arnold after he has won the lot with you is baffling. Didn't cost you a penny. Mark Goldbridge has come back and said, maybe stay out of what Liverpool fans do unless you are one. Rio Ferdinand, bear in mind, was the same guy that went on about Newcastle fans, you know, should be grateful of Mike Ashley. And that might have something to do with the fact that he had a clothing line with Sports Direct. So I wouldn't really be taking on all that much from what Rio Ferdinand is saying. Jamie Carragher, of course, he mentioned that, you know, Liverpool fans shouldn't be doing it. Again, this was after him saying that journalists outside of Liverpool and people outside of Liverpool shouldn't be telling, fans what to do. And he's telling Liverpool fans what to do, Rio Ferdinand and all of them. So it's cannon fodder for rival fans. It doesn't look good. There are other ways and means about, to me, in my opinion, there are other ways and means about showing your disapproval. Singing Conor Bradley, chanting Conor Bradley. There was other chants about anti-Real Madrid or Stevie G chants. And I think that would have been far better than booing a player that's wearing a Liverpool jersey. He's got the Liver Bird on his chest. And I think it may have affected the rest of his teammates, because bear in mind, they're teammates, they're friends, and that might have put them off, for the remainder of the game. I don't know. But I think there are ways and means about going about it. I'm not giving out to anyone that boos. We all have our view about, his contract and stuff. But, I think we should focus on the good, focus on the fact that we have won number 20, and focus on the fact that we can rub that in the Manx face. And on the 26th of fucking May, we lift up that goddamn trophy and we fucking celebrate like there is no fucking tomorrow. And whether he's on the bus or not, we fucking celebrate. That's it. We celebrate. And if he plays or doesn't play, we get behind him until he doesn't play for Liverpool. And then if he plays for Real Madrid and he's against Liverpool, then if you want to, show your disapproval of that, go ahead, do that. But players come and fucking go. He's done everything at the club that he wants to do. He's decided to take a move. The way he's gone about it, perhaps not exactly the best. When in fact it isn't. It's not. But we just have to accept it. These contracts fiasco has bothered the living piss out of me, has bothered the living piss out of Martin, bothered the living piss out of Adam, and I'm sure everyone else that's watching this, it has bothered the crap out of people. Now we have an answer. We've kept Virgil, we've kept Salah, right? Trent's gone. Let's accept that. We've got Virgil, we've got Salah. Let us hone in on the positives there, and let's look to the summer with strengthening our squad. There is no player bigger than Liverpool Football Club. We have managed without John Aldridge, Ian Rush, Kenny Dalglish, Kevin Keegan, all these players that left Liverpool, Suarez, Torres, Alonso. We have managed without these players. Liverpool will go on. So as long as he's wearing that fucking jersey, get behind him, because it will affect the rest of them. That's all I got to say about it. And that's all I want to fucking say about it. I don't want to talk about it. That's it.
Nice one. I think I'm not muted now. Yeah, I'm not muted.
You're not muted.
I'll just go through some people's comments, then we'll just leave it there for this. I mean, there's some stuff you said that I disagree with, but there's some stuff I do agree with as well. I mean, end of the day, we do live in a free society and everyone can just do what they want. So I'm not really bothered, really, in all fairness. End of the day, come the end of this month, he's no longer a Liverpool player. He says he's going to be a Liverpool fan, but whatever. See how much of a Liverpool fan he is when Liverpool are playing Real Madrid next season in Champions League. Not that I'd ask him to, do anything that'd get him to lose his job, but you know what I mean. Anyway, lost where I was up tonight. Right. Anyway, so here we are. So Gary says that Trent Alexander-Arnold is a snake. Miss Scusi says that Madrid must be talking to players a couple of years before their contracts run down. Rat of a club. 100%, mate. I think even Arsene Wenger came out and said that this has not just happened since January. He said Real Madrid will have been talking to Alexander-Arnold for years. So yeah, and that's why I think it goes back to when he signed his last contract potentially. But it is what it is. Gavin, it's just the way he's handled it, signing the Real Madrid shirts last summer and shushing his own fans. Again, yeah. Miss Scusi, hope Trent's lifts the trophy, but I wouldn't be asked if he wasn't at the parade. I don't think he'll be at the parade. I think he'll be gone by then. I think he'll have been sold by then. Because you got to think the Club World Cup starts pretty soon at the end of May, and Real Madrid want him for that. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's no longer at the club by then. Jen says, "Oh, Adam, what did I say?" Bon, there's no need to play Trent again. I agree. Keep him out of the squad. I agree. Schlott shouldn't have played him on Sunday. Agreed. Carl, I think he'll regret going there. Yeah, I think I can see Trent. In all fairness, if he plays at right back and he plays like he has done at Liverpool, I can see potentially Real Madrid selling him in 2 years' time, and he goes to play in like Italy or something, or maybe even Germany for like Bayern Munich. I don't think he'll beat Real Madrid for the rest of his career. Gavin, he had the chance to be a Gerrard. He chose to be a McManaman and annoying. Ben, he didn't tell Slot in March, as reported. The club was informed 18 months ago that he was going. Apparently, his brother is getting 17.5 million signing on fee from this deal as well. Yeah, mate, it wouldn't surprise me if it's even longer than that, mate. Wouldn't surprise me if it's longer than that. Jen, well, don't play him and don't put him on the bench. It's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, there was something I heard yesterday, and I can't remember who said it now. It may have been... No, it wasn't them. I heard someone saying, isn't it weird how Chiesa can't get on the bench, but two people that we know that are definitely leaving in Trent and Nunes are?
Yeah.
Gary, if people go and spend their money to go to the match, they have a right to have their opinion on Trent Alexander-Arnold. I agree, mate. Scott, sorry, mate. I'd send him packing to Madrid now, to be honest, lads. Nothing but a distraction from us winning the league. I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
Ben, never slated Slot all of this season because we shouldn't, but bringing on Trent yesterday was an accident waiting to happen. He was always going to get slaughtered. Yep. He was getting slaughtered when his name got shouted out as in part of the squad, wasn't it? So, Miscusi, remember a few years ago, Trent was having a nightmare getting slaughtered in the press about his form, and Klopp protected him for a few games. He won't get that at Madrid if he plays bad.
Not a hope.
They had to go Mbappe, didn't they, when we actually battered them? Gareth, I was in the main stand for the game, and Trent coming on ruined the mood completely. Yeah, apparently, from what I've heard, there was police within the cop because people were fighting. So yeah, Miscusi again. Ferdinand shit on Leeds, didn't he? He 100% did, mate. Ferdinand hated by by my mates. Miscusi agrees with Scott. David Lynch said he shouldn't be at the parade. Yeah, I agree with that as well. And then Uncle Dave. Welcome, Uncle Dave. Trent has worked the deal for a profit. He should never put on a Liverpool shirt again. Having him there is causing a problem that we don't need, as it's distracting from a great season. Yeah, and I think just to put a pin in this, I think the entire contract situation has kind of been a bit of a dark shadow over most of the season as a whole. I mean, we didn't get that ticked off until, was it just before we'd won the league?
Yeah, it was just a little over.
Just before, I can't remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, fuck knows, mate. And then Gary, he'll be another Philip Coutinho. Oh, Philip Coutinho, yeah, sorry, Philip Coutinho. And then Ben says that all the players are currently in a beef at Ocean Beach. Nice one. Hope they get a break.
Trent will be able to make his way to Madrid or after that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we'll put a pin in it there for that. I was hoping Martin came back on to actually say a bit more from what he was saying, but I don't know.
Gavin's just put in a comment there. Have you noticed the journalists saying he couldn't defend have now changed their narrative and wishing him well? Carragher saying yesterday there's nobody in the dressing room that would turn down Real Madrid. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised by that comment, but not surprised because it's Jamie Carragher and he seems to be saying a lot of things that
no, but I do get what he's saying. Like, I'm again, this is where sometimes I'm just not biased, but I honestly think if you went to both all the players in there and went, I can go play for Real Madrid, I can go play for Liverpool, both the same wages, you get the same everything, which one you going to? I reckon about 80% of them would go play for Real Madrid. McAllister, Alisson, 100%.
Maybe,
Diaz,
but
Nunez, Jota.
But I think as a
Canate,
scout,
because apparently he's on his way there now. He might be on his way there next year if he lets his contract run out. Shimmercast, 100%. Gravenberch, 100%. So Bosley probably would do as well. You know what I mean? Like that's most of the team there.
I think if you're a scouser, I think as Gerard says, it means more to win for your own, and that's what I'm going off the back of. Look, I mean, going back to what Jen says, should he be on the bench? Should he be even playing? Personally, I think that Slot has to pick, his best squad. If Bradley's not 100% fit and can't last for the 90 minutes, who are you going to put on? Kwanzaa?
I've got a video for you of the team in the beef if you want to see it.
Let's have a look.
Okay. Hold on a minute. I need to sort this out.
Is Trent in a Real Madrid jersey?
No.
An awful shit stir.
I'm going to stop it there because I'll probably get fucking clipped for that. I'm going to mute it. I've just muted the video.
That's nice to see. That's really nice to see that, and it's nice to see Slack getting the recognition that he deserves because he's done wonders. I know that they'll say that it's Klopp's team, and yes, it is, but he's worked with a smaller squad, and fair fucks to him.
No, I think. I honestly think I'm taking the bit away from this that they've already played for Liverpool. I'm saying, as in, if you was to just go to them before they came to Liverpool and said you can go to Liverpool or you can go to Real Madrid, 80% of them would go to Real Madrid, 100%. I think there's players there now that would go to Real Madrid. So, Diaz, he wants to go to Barcelona. So, isn't it fucking funny as well how this Barcelona situation's happened where they now have to make 4 times the amount of money they're going to use to buy people because their financial situation is fucked, right? Instead of it was 1-for-1 where if they sold one player or they spent, say if they spent 10 million, they'd have to sell 10 million. But now for every 10 million they'd have to sell, they have to make 40 million, right? Isn't it fucking funny how since that's happened, Diaz is like, I want to stay at Liverpool for so many years now, so many years. Yeah, of course you fucking do, mate. You got no fucking choice because Barcelona can't afford you.
The other thing is FSG have been doing that since they fucking bought over Liverpool anyway. So it's like,
yeah.
But I mean, fucking Barcelona, and Real Madrid have been all in financial difficulty for as long as I've known, and still have managed to sign players. So I've got
an opinion on the Salah thing as well, Uncle Dave. I personally do believe, and I've said this a few times, that if COVID had not happened, Salah would have been sold that summer to Real Madrid because it was all going on in the background. His agent was working towards getting him to Spain. There was people in Egypt that were pushing him to go to Real Madrid so they'd have an Egyptian playing for the biggest club in the world, in their opinion, at Real Madrid. And then literally between 10 and 8 months later, COVID happened and just fucked everything. So I reckon if COVID had not happened, he'd have gone to Real Madrid.
I think if Salah was that type of player that wants to win the Ballon d'Or, if that's his ambition, because when Trent said it, I think the writing was very much on the wall that he wanted to go to Real Madrid because maybe he felt that he couldn't win the.
But there's more to that. There's more to that. Because I think at that time he was at the age as well where if he a couple more years older, which he was too old for Real Madrid then because they went towards getting Mbappe. They went and did other things as well. So younger players. I reckon Erling Haaland's not long left at Premier League. I don't care that he signed that contract. I really don't. I can see him going to Real Madrid as well. Look at his career. His entire career has been a stepping stone. Salzburg, Dortmund, City, Real Madrid, 100%. So yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about, mate, before we do the last thing I wanted to do?
I don't want to be talking about Trent anymore. I'm but I think I understand people want to voice their opinion on it and want to voice it their way. It was just sad. It was just sad. And I don't think he should really be on the bench personally. I don't think he should be playing for Liverpool after that. I think it's too much of a distraction. Let us focus on the fact that we've won number 20 and enjoy it. That's it.
On these two here, Haaland goes to Barca, Lewandowski replacement. That's not a bad shout, mate. I kind of think Jonathan David might be that player. And then also Anthony is wanted by Barcelona. Again, they've got to do that fourth, unless that gets sorted out, which I think they get. There's something about June. Something about June regarding Barcelona where their books get reassessed or something. If that stays at 4-1, I can't see them signing many players, if anybody, this summer. But if that goes back to 1-1, then yeah, potentially we might see some movement on Diaz after next month. But yeah, as Uncle Dave says here, we shouldn't be giving Trent the talking time now. 100%.
No longer talking about it. We've given it
because of coming towards the twilight end of the season. We're going to get into the transfer window coming up, and I might end up, guys. I've been playing with the idea of doing a live stream every night just to go over the rumors for that day. Do you know what I mean? See what we think about it. Might do that over the transfer window. But anyway, I thought what we'd do as a little quick game is a tier system thing. So I've got the Liverpool squad, and we've got obviously expiring contract. I've had to put Trent there automatically, and then I've got players that are going to be sold, players with question marks that we're not sure whether we'll keep them or sell them, and then players we're definitely 100% going to keep. So we'll do that. I did kind of want Martin on for this because then it's a bit weird when there's two of us, because we're going to need the chat now as well to help us. So I might have to do a poll.
I'm going to see if Martin is available there. Hold on a second.
Yeah, my screen so you can all see what we're talking about.
Martin, are you available to come on? This is great, lads. I got a glimpse of this tier list.
So, as you can see.
Do you want to zoom in a bit?
Well, I think.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. So there we go. As you can see, I got end of contract. Obviously, Trent. We know that one. Who we selling? Who's got question marks? And then who we're keeping. So I think we're going to put everybody in where we think, and then at the end of it, I reckon both of us, if both of us get a chance to move one player out of the other box and put it where we think, I think that would be a good little thing at the end as well. So, first player then that's on the list. Should we start from the bottom or from the top?
I like starting on the top.
Right. Alisson, do we reckon he's sold, you're unsure, or is he staying 100%?
I think we will be keeping Alisson.
In fact, I think because it's just the two of us right now, I'm going to put a poll in. So, Alisson, keep, question mark, sell. There should be, I think I've spelled his name wrong as well. There should be a poll in the chat now, guys. If you all vote now, I'll let it run for a couple of minutes.
Will I give my reason for why?
Yeah, you give your reason where you think he's going to be, and then give your reason.
So I think he's Mohamed Ashvili is going to be the understudy of Alisson. So I think Alisson's contract is up in 2027. So I think Alisson will be sold in 2026 after Mohamed Ashvili been under him. So I think that's why we're keeping him for until 2027.
Okay. I thought for months that he was here.
Okay.
For months I thought he was there. Then I went to here because I was like, I'm not sure, you know, he's having a really good season. And as you just mentioned then with his contract situation, Kelleher going, we've got all the other players that we need to replace this summer already as it is. Do we really need to go out there and buy another goalkeeper? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm kind of in agreement with you. I think we keep him for one more year. I think he stays, especially Mamadashvili. You need to let him get his feet under the table a little bit, you know, instead of just chucking him in at the deep end. He's only young. And I guess it won't do him no harm to, you know, first time in England learning and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I think he could learn from nobody better than Alisson for 1 year. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's the only thing that makes sense to me. The only thing that makes sense to me, I think, personally.
I'll end that poll in there. We did have everyone voted, and 100% of the people voted to keep Alisson. Martin's here. Martin, just to give you a bit of a rundown what we're doing, pal. So we're going to go through the squad. Would we sell? Have we got question marks over them? We don't know whether they're going to sell or we're going to keep, or we're just going to keep them. And then, you know, I'm going to put a poll in as well, see what the chat think as well. Well, actually, now you're here. We can just do it between the three of us, I think, right now, unless we get a bit of a tiebreaker or we're unsure with one. But yeah, so are you happy with Alisson to be kept?
Are you talking to me there? Because my microphone's got muted then. Yeah, keep Alisson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For this one, Uncle Dave, we're not going to do any homegrown or anything right now with this. It's just a little one for the squad as it is right now. Next player up, Joe Gomez. I think I'll go first with this one. No, go on, Martin, since you're here, you'll go first with this one, mate. Do we sell, unsure, or are we keeping Joe Gomez?
Right, you know, I've had my opinions about Gomez, but I'd keep.
Yeah. All right there, Gavin, mate. Catch you later, mate.
Shauno? Well, I mean, his contract is out in, again, 2027. I think he's injury prone. I don't know whether he wants to move himself. So I would have him under a question mark, to be honest with you.
You just got to keep him for the homegrown quotas, though.
Yeah, but I mean, he's so versatile that he can play right back, center back, and left back, and that's the only thing, you know, that I obviously see positive about him. But he's too injury prone.
Yeah.
And we need to depend on obviously the numbers and depend on the backup. And again, he wants first team football, I'm sure. So he may look for a move. You know, there's no sign of him extending his contract, or there's no sign of there being talks with him. So I have a question mark over him, to be honest.
There's a poll in the chat as well, so I want to give them guys a chance to have a vote as well. For me, he's a question mark because it all depends on what we do at right back. If we sign Frimpong, for instance, or Vanderson, or any right back,
then you can't let him go.
You've got to let Gomez go, or Kwanzaa. One of them has to go because they are technically the backup to Bradley right now.
Yeah.
So it all depends on that. So he is a bit of a question mark for me right now. Let's see what the poll is saying.
I seen the thing about that Stefan Bakovic, was his name?
Bajcetic.
Yeah. It's like, what if he comes back? What happens then?
Well, is he not a midfielder?
He can play centre back, or he can play right back as well, and he can play in a few positions. To be fair,
it wouldn't. Well, I mean, if he can do that, then it wouldn't be a bad idea.
So we've actually got a tie as well in the poll. To be fair, so I'll end the poll there. So the chat have basically voted 42% keep, 42% sell, 14% question mark for Gomez. Me and you both went question mark. Martin went with keep. I think we'll pop him in the question mark section for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it all depends on what happens at right back with Joe Gomez's future. Next up, we've got Endo. I'll go first on this one. For me, again, I've been up and down with him this summer as well. I think, in fact, let's put him in the chat before I get talking. Endo. I think Endo for me right now is a keep, and I'm surprised I'm saying that because I think if you'd have asked me that like a month ago, I'd have been like, nah, he's definitely a sell. I think they'll try and upgrade, but I think with how much that we're potentially got to do on the front line and in defence, I don't, and he never puts a foot wrong when he's playing. So why would you sell him? You know what I mean? So I think you get another season out of Endo for me. So Martin, you go next.
Yeah, I think they'll keep him while the same what you're saying there about the front and the back. Keep him, and I think they will allow him to run his contract down because he come in for pennies. So he's not very valuable to him. He's not going to get a big selling clause or anything like that. I think he's going to become surplus to requirements once they've built the team and let him go. But I thought he was a good little player. We never lost when he came on.
Yeah. I like him. I rate him. I do think he's really good.
Yeah.
Shauno?
I think we need backup for Gravenberch, and I think he can be that. Plus, he can be a centre back. His contract runs out in 2027. So what I would do is I would keep him on. Obviously, Zubamende. There's news that he's going to Arsenal, and with Gravenberch doing such a fantastic job at the defensive midfielder, I don't see no harm of having Endo there on the squad. So I would keep.
Yeah, and the chat agrees with us there, guys. That 100% they voted to keep. So Endo moves up into the keep part. Sean, back around to you now, mate. Virgil van Dijk. I think this is pretty much a straightforward one. You know, we don't need to do anything with this. He's just signed a deal. He ain't going nowhere. We all in agreement that he's a keep.
He's a keeper.
Guys, just 1 second then. Just got to pop out. Just got a message come from the, you're going on about he tells you stuff. Let me just jump off a minute, mate.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
No idea what he did there.
So I think, Virgil 100% keep, yeah?
Yeah. Cool.
Obviously, yeah. Should we just skip ahead a little bit and should we put more salary in keep as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to argue about that one.
No.
Next player up then on the block, Ibu Kanate.
Yeah, that's a bit of a different one. I mean,
yeah, you go first. I think I'll put a poll in the chat as well. So I do think this one's going to be quite interesting, to be fair. So Kanate, Sean, I'll hand over to you. You go first, mate.
So I mean, his contract runs out 2026. This is the only time that we'll get money for him. He has been offered a contract, and there's been no real movement on that. And I think if there hasn't been any movement on it, and what I think he was rumored to be getting quite a lot of money and whatever, and he's turned that down or something. That's what I've heard. I would be inclined to sell him, but it all depends on what we do in the transfer window.
Okay.
I think he's injury prone and there's a few mistakes in him. I think Virgil van Dijk makes him a lot better than he is, and that may sound a bit critical of him. He's a good player, but I think he wants to move.
For me, it's a question mark. Because there's some of the people in the chat here, like Scott here, saying that he reckons he'll extend over the summer. Bond saying sell him if he doesn't sign, and then Ben saying he'll go for free. I think, Muscusi, Kanate's probably talking to Real Madrid. I think it's a question mark for Kanate because I do agree. I've said for about a month now, if he's not signed the deal come July, sell him. Yeah. I think question mark for me. Are you okay with that?
I think so, because I mean it's up in the air. You're kind of sitting on the fence because you don't know what the player's going to do, what sort of contract, if there's going to be further contract talks. It really all depends on the summer, and if Richard Hughes gets the checkbook out. But yeah, I'm happy with the question mark.
Can't see where that poll's going for Canate. I can't see the results for that for some reason.
Let me see if I can see it.
What does it say?
I'm going to check now here for you.
Well, let me see.
So 44% say keep, 33% say question mark, and 22% say sell.
Wow. Are we going to say question mark then, since me and you were both in question mark?
Yeah, I think so. I'm happy with that.
Cool. Martin's not there still, so Martin, just drop a message in the chat, mate, when you're back free to come back on. Next player up, Luis Diaz. Now I'll go with this one. Let me put it up in the chat for the poll. So for me, again, I think he does want out. Based on the Barcelona, based on what happened last year, with the links to PSG and everything like that, I personally think he wants to go to Barcelona. And he's got a contract as well that, it's not the highest. But I feel like if you are looking at revamping this team, I've kind of always thought that he's not. Martin's here now. Hi, mate.
Hi, mate. Sorry about that.
That's all right, man. We'll talk about Diaz now. So for me, I think with Diaz, he's never really lived up to what he was meant to be, if that makes sense. Like, he was the Sadio Mane replacement. I think nearly everybody in the chat, everybody here would take Sadio Mane prime over Luis Diaz prime.
Yeah.
So I'd sell Diaz. That's where I'd put him. Martin, what about you?
I think he's quite easily led, and his head turns quite easy. I think he's just playing to see what his future lies for. I know everyone is, but the situation with his dad and with the Barcelona talks, that he wants to go, I think, I'd sell him as well.
Shano?
Well, you see, if we sell him, then we need some backup. And I mean, we've got Cody Gakpo, which, I mean, I think, the start of the season, it was difficult to pick between the two of them because they were performing at a high level. But I think Cody has nipped it to the post, and I think Diaz is going to be finding it difficult to hold on to that. We've played him, center forward as well. All right, David. So I would be inclined to. I'd put a question mark on him. I'm not too sure.
Okay. So Martin said sell. You said question mark. Let's have a look what the chat's saying. And then the poll. So the poll is Diaz you keep 61%, sell 30%, question mark 7%. Taking in mind what the chat have said, I reckon we've dropped him in question mark. In agreement?
I think so, because his contract runs out in 2027, so we got to sell him this summer, next summer. So maybe have a season with him and see what happens.
Cool. I agree with that. Uncle Rods, hope you're doing well, mate. I'm doing well.
All right, Uncle Rods.
Next player.
Sorry, I know you're going on about that. I just need to obviously tell you one. Who I tell you who I talk to?
Yeah.
Tells me some info. Just basically got, see yous are doing it again, and a bat and a white ball. That was it.
Knocking it out of the park. Home run or something like that.
I don't know. Just, it's a cryptic message. Obviously, you can't say much. It's a bat and it looks like a ping pong ball.
Or fring pong.
Fring pong, yeah. Yeah, fring pong. Well done, Shano. Message that back.
Yeah, I'll put off to him. Is that
SKB?
Yeah, knows best.
The next player on the block, then, I don't think we need much talk about this one. Dominic Szoboszlai.
Keep.
Shauno, what do you think?
Keep.
Sell.
Keep.
I mean, listen.
Keep.
Keep. I'm in keep as well. So Bosley, straight and nice and easy as a keep. Darwin Núñez.
Fucking sell. No question mark about it. Sell.
Keep.
Yeah.
Sell.
Fine. Sell Darwin Núñez.
Sell. I don't think you need to even do a poll on that.
No,
I like him.
No, shut up. Don't start this reeling in crap. Sell.
You don't, not going to live it down, is he?
I'm not. No. Sell. He couldn't.
Make sure you're hitting that like button, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, we've got David Crompton watching over on X. Make sure you're hitting the like button, guys. McAllister, is that another one that goes straight up into keep?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think one of the most improved players this season, and has been absolutely instrumental at
sensational past 2 months.
Yeah, so absolutely.
I love the way he just sat on that subs bench at the end when he come off and he was just taking it all in, and it was the smile.
Yeah.
When is his contract up? Is 2027?
Maybe 28. I can't remember. Something like
28. It's 28. Yeah.
Yeah. He'll get a new deal soon if he wants one.
I'd give him a new deal tomorrow.
I'd sign him up for 9 years.
Yeah.
Next player on the block, Chiesa. Martin, do you want to lead this one?
I've got to say sell because he's shown us nothing, and it's been for the benefit of him. It's like he's in a club where he's not wanted, so for some reason, so for his sanity, let him go and enjoy his football.
Well, he's not going to enjoy it if he doesn't play or sort out with sleep.
Exactly.
So,
Shauna, what do you think?
Night nurse.
Sell without a doubt. I mean, we're not like we're not like a kind of a developmental center for players to find their feet and then decide when to play. If he's not available the majority of the time, he's very, very lucky to get a medal, a Premier League winners medal. And I think, I think just sell. I mean, it was Richard Hughes's purchase. It was from the Solanke deal. Juventus could not have got rid of him quick enough. They knew the trouble that he was going to be, and he wasn't available for the majority of the season. So sell, absolutely sell. No question.
I don't think. I know he hasn't had the game time, but when he's come on the field, I don't think he's put a statement out to, give the Liverpool fans go, do you know what? Give him another year. I don't think he's done that.
I mean, I like the guy. I mean, he seems delighted to be at Liverpool, but he doesn't fucking play. So you've got to have that player. You've got to have someone to back up those positions. And I know it's very difficult to take the position of Mo Salah, but you've got to have a player that hits the ground running in order to make an impact. And what better way than to do that in the first season with the club? And he hasn't done that. He's not been fit. So sell.
Yeah. YouTube outweighed me. Let's see what the poll is saying. Let's have a look. The poll has ended now. What are they saying? So they've put 40% keep, 40% sell, 20% question mark. So I reckon we'll put him in the sell with you two. I would be on question mark because if we're losing Núñez, we're losing. Well, Diaz is a question mark right now. That's two players straight away from the forward line. Then if you're adding Chiesa to that as well, and then there's a potential another one coming up as well, you're starting to look at literally like half a team's getting sold this summer and half a team's getting
it just annoys me the way they try and use Liverpool as a stepping stone. They should use other clubs as a stepping stone to get to Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Chiesa, I would have been question mark for him, but I do think at the same time that this weekend's just shown that he's just not gonna fit
He's not
into
Liverpool player.
Slot's
He's not.
plans, is he? If he can't get on the bench over Nunes or Trent, who are both, one of them's
To me,
50-50, one of
I
them
go at pass.
100% going. So yeah. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think we'll have Chiesa down for sell. Next player up is Curtis Jones. I think he stays. Homegrown talent and everything like that. I had question marks about him ever since he scored that goal against Everton. I think everyone was like hyping him up to be something that he wasn't. I do think he's seen a little bit more of a better performance from him since Slot's come in. Slot seems to like him as well. Seems to play him a fair bit compared to like Elliott or whatever. I think he stays this summer. What about you?
Yeah, I'd like to see him stay. I mean, sometimes he has his good moments and his bad moments. Ever since he became a father, he seems to be having more good than bad. I think he's a good player to come on, and he gets stuck in. So he may not be the best player, but certainly he wants to stay there, and Slot likes him, so I would keep him.
Yeah, I'd keep him as well. Only like bit like yourself, Sean, saying there. At least when he comes on the field, he gives 110% most games. You can see he's a lad from Liverpool. It's like that's his club, and like a bit like Trent was when he first came. I can see it. I think we've got him for a couple more seasons, and since he's had this baby, he's matured a little bit.
Yeah. I think he goes straight up into keep as well. Then, to be fair, Cody Gakpo. Do we need to talk about this one? Is he straight into keep?
Straight in there.
Straight in there like swimwear.
Harry Elliott.
Not dissolvable ones.
I'll go this one. I think Elliott's got a question mark on him because there seems to be a thing this season where Slot has left out people that have been injured. You know what I mean? Apart from like Chiesa injured, whatever, he seems to have like not got a look in. Elliott was injured, not really got a look in. Jota, he's been basically forced into the squad because there's nobody else. But he's not been the same player ever since he's been injured. I think if the right offer comes in for Elliott, I reckon it's a question mark. I think if you get anything north of 40 million for Elliott, I think that gets snapped up.
Easy.
Martin, what do you think?
It's a mad one. I'm gonna have to put her on a question mark as well because even though he's such a young kid, he's been around Liverpool for a while now. He's like a senior player. Until he had his injury, that horrific injury, I think he was in that little part of time where he'd have got into quite a lot of teams, one of the first names on the sheet. But with him being with the injuries now, I don't know. I'd put him on a question mark.
Yeah, I agree. Shano, Elliott?
I like Elliott, to be honest with you. I thought in the preseason that Elliott was going to play a massive part in Slot's in Slot's game, in Slot's team, but obviously I was wrong. And he's had a few niggling injuries. I mean, I know that he's talked about wanting more game time, so he could be swayed to move elsewhere. I would like him to stay, but all right. But I would have him at question mark.
Right. I think we're in agreement with that one then. Elliott drops into question marks. Diogo Jota. Next up. Shauna, do you want to lead this one?
I think he's too injury prone. I mean, I understand that the first injury had some player fell on top of him, but he's too injury prone, and I think we need someone to see. Is that Brandon? All right, Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon with Chiesa.
I think Jota has to be sold. I think
on the screen something.
He's not. Put your thing on mute. I think Jota has to be sold. He's just not. He's not consistent. I don't think he's played all that well when he's come on. He's too injury prone, man.
Yeah. You got a high here, Sean. Hope you're doing.
All right, Daryl, how are you?
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with Jota. I think I've been saying it for a fair bit now. I think Jota needs to be moved on. I think he's probably one of the best finishers at the club when he's on. But I do think since he's come back from this recent injury, I think he's lost like out a header of ball and everything. Like he's done nothing. I don't know how long it's been since he's scored a goal now. I don't think he looks dangerous when he gets the ball anymore. I think he's stopped shooting for some weird reason as well. Like I don't remember the last time he had a shot, in all fairness. Someone will tell me now he had about 10 shots on Sunday, but I don't remember it. I think he's gone missing this back end of this season as well. I think he started the season really well.
Yeah.
But I think this back end of the season, since he's come back from that injury, I think he's gone missing completely. So yeah, I'd be selling Jota this summer. Martin, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Jota is out the door lad now. He's to me, he's the new Jamie Redknapp at Liverpool. Sick note. I think he's lost a couple of yards. The last time I remember him shooting was when he scored.
Yeah, Muscucci just said there he won us the derby.
Yeah, that's the last time you've ever had like he's made that any kind of impact since. I think he looks lost. He's like a fish out of water. He doesn't know what he's doing, where he is, and how to do it anymore. I think his confidence has dropped a lot. So yeah, I'd sell.
No, I think we're in agreement with that one then. Let's have a look what the chat said. Let's have a look when this pops up. 83% say sell, 8% say keep, and 8% also have a question mark next to it as well.
It's a shame, though, because he's a good player, but since he's had that horrific injury, it's just not been the same.
Yeah.
Shimmercast is up next. Martin, if you want to lead this one.
Shimmercast, get rid. I just don't think he's. I don't think he's a Liverpool player. I think he's on the same lines as Chiesa. He just doesn't suit Liverpool style.
I mean, I think he's probably only been getting a few games, and because Robbo needs to be rested. Yeah. Shauna, your thoughts on Shimmercast? So Martin, you put him in sell, yeah?
Yeah, sell.
Yeah. Shauna?
I think he's had his best games behind him. I don't think he is as effective as he used to be. He used to be better at corners than Robbo. If I had to choose between him and Robbo, I think Robbo's form of late has been quite good. Has shown that he still has a bit of pace in him. So if it was between Robbo and him, I would pick the Greek Scouser, unfortunately, and I would sell him.
Yeah, same boat as me, Shauna, really.
Thanks for the memories, but I'd sell him.
Yeah, I think if we're bringing in a left back, which seems we're going to be doing, from all the rumours we've had over the past 6 months or something, if not longer, going back to last summer, we were linked with left backs as well. So I think this has probably been on the cards for a while as this now. And as you say, out of the two of them, I probably would move on from Shimmercast. The only bugbear I've got about the next person that's going to come up, Robbo, is his contract does expire at the end of next season. So you've got to make a decision there. Like, do you let Robbo go for nothing, and then you have to look for another left back next year? I mean, you're going to bring in, say, Kirkes this summer, and you bring one of your youngsters back after next year to be the backup? That could be on the cards there. Maybe just get one more year out of Robbo and let him go for nothing. But yeah, I think out of the two of them, I think I probably would prefer to sell Shimmercast. Let's have a look what the poll said in the chat. 100% of the people have said that they would sell Shimmercast this summer.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, Shimmercast is in the sell there as well. Next, left back Andy Robbo. I'll lead this one, as I just said. I mean, you're in a conundrum here. His contract expires at the end of next season. I personally think, again, just to repeat myself, I think you let him play out his contract and let him go for nothing next season. At the end of next season, sorry. And then you probably bring a youngster in to be the backup to whoever it is you bring in this season. So yeah, I think for this year, I think we keep Robbo. Future, I think he's gone, obviously. But yeah, I'll put it in the chat. But yeah, Martin, what do you think, Robbo?
See, this is a hard one because I really like Robbo. And I understand he's aging now. He's come in, he was sublime, he was amazing. But I'd let him run it down. But the kid loves Liverpool, and I think if I was going to do anything, I'd try and get him out onto the coaching staff.
I think he's a bit young for that, though.
No,
you might want to keep playing.
Yeah, I don't think he would. I think, well, yeah, maybe for send him out, but I definitely would eventually get him to come in because he's so good. His mind, his mental focus just can't get to his feet like it used to. He was, we got the best out of Wolves, Hull, when he came over. He come with Harry Maguire to United, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it was like, as soon as he came in, it was, he looked like he'd been there from the start for a long time. And I've got a lot of respect for Robbo, but he is aging. But he would be a player I'd let run down his contract on his own and give him that choice to do what he wanted. Because I think he deserves that. He's earned that.
Yeah. So are we in agreement then that he would keep him? Yeah.
He's not going to ask me.
No.
Oh, sorry, Sean. I thought I'd already had. Sorry, go on, mate. Sean. Yeah, go on.
No, I mean, I listen. As I said before, if I had to choose Timicas or Robbo, I'd pick Robbo. I think if you're bringing in a left back, what better player to look up to, and then let him either go on his way as a free or maybe give him a 1 year extension. But I think going forward, I mean, his contract runs out in 2027. I think it is.
End of next season, isn't it?
Or end of 2026. So
I think pay as you play.
I'd keep him on for an extra season while the understudy learns the ropes.
Cool. So we've got him under keep then as well. Next player up is Ryan Gravenberch. Do we really need to discuss this one?
Extend his contract. Do a Haaland and give him a 7-year contract. That guy is fucking incredible.
Jaros, the goalkeeper.
His contract runs out the end of this season. So I think I don't think they're going to renew it, to be honest.
Kelleher. Let's just
drop Alisson down to sell, but Kelleher up to keep.
Hold on a minute. I want to just be sure about this Jaros lad, about his contract.
No, it is. I've checked.
Oh, you have.
I have a tier list here.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It says end of next season on the transfer market.
They don't know what they're talking about. Well, I mean, if that's the case, is that true?
On transfer market, it says it doesn't expire till 2026. He signed a new contract in 2024.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we're selling Kelleher, that's a difficult one because if that's true, then because I thought his contract runs out at the end of this season. So maybe he is 2026 then. So I probably have him as a question mark because I don't know whether when his contract ends and he's shown kind of some potential the pre-season. He looks like a good goalkeeper, but it all depends on the next keeper that we're looking at.
Yeah.
I don't think Mamardashvili is going to come in properly, and I don't think it's going to work for him.
Mm.
Well, let's talk about that now in a minute.
Now in a minute.
So with Jaros then, should we just put him in the question mark?
Yeah.
Because we're unsure. Next lad up is Kelleher. For me, I think with Mamardashvili coming in, you're keeping Allison. Kelleher has spoken openly of wanting to leave last summer and going out there and playing first team football. I think we sell him this summer. Martin, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't want him to because I really like Kelleher, but there's no way he's going to get anywhere near that first one when Mamardashvili comes in, and it's not fair on him. He deserves first team.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Sean?
The same as Martin. I think he is probably the second best goalkeeper out there. I think it's a crying shame that the club didn't look to making him number one and not purchase Mamardashvili. I think we're taking a gamble with him, to be honest with you. So I would have kept Kelleher. I really would have kept Kelleher, and it pains me to see him go because great young lad, good friends with Robbo, and I'd be sorry to see him go. He's broken records at Liverpool.
Just had that Mamardashvili. He's had like a season like an Anna this year, hasn't he?
But I mean, this is the only time that we can get money for Kelleher. So I mean, with that, we have to get rid of him. We have to sell him. He doesn't want to stay at the club if he's not number one.
And I think he'll get a big cheer when he goes because he came out and he said, "I want to play," and that's respectful.
Yeah,
that's true.
The next one up is Kwanzaa. Now, I will put this up into the chat as well.
Tell me when will you and Kwanzaa?
Martin, do you want to lead this one? What would you do with Kwanzaa this summer?
Has he had enough game to get enough time with us? I know he's been in and out. He just doesn't seem he can hold his space down when he gets in it, whether it's because the players are going back in. But I think when he comes on, he's a bit of a liability at the moment. It doesn't seem to hold that ball up anymore. And I don't know. I'd just sell him. I would. I know he's a scouser and stuff, but I'd sell him.
Sean?
It's a difficult one because I know that he's had some personal issues this season, and he's had a kind of a dip in form, and anytime he makes a mistake, that's him done for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
and we've seen that in some games there, and it's been well reported by the pundits. Do I see, I mean, when Matip got injured, he was like, well, it's unfortunate to see him injured, but now's my time. And I like that about him, but he hasn't been able to, he's walked the walk, or he's talked the talk, but he hasn't been able to walk the walk this season. And I think there have been a few mistakes from him. There's kind of a question mark over whether you would put him out on loan to see if he could improve. But I think
I'll tell you where he would go and be a perfect fit. I think he'd be good at Preston.
In the Championship? Oh, are they in the Championship? Or League One or something?
League One.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're selling him, I mean you've got a busy fucking summer. Real busy.
I'm thinking about question mark for me because, again, if someone does come in with 50 million for him, can you turn that down? I mean, I mentioned it again, and I wasn't really trying to bash him, but it was just more of an observation. But I do think he's got some sort of a mental issue with the game. I think as soon as he makes that mistake, that's him fucked for the rest of that match.
Yeah,
I don't think he gets over it and just gets on with his job. Do you know what I mean?
He's second guessing every time he touches that ball and what he's going to do, and it's playing on him.
Yeah, like the Chelsea game, for instance, I feel like, the ball went in off him for an own goal, wasn't it? That was Chelsea, wasn't it? Own goal. And then he gave away the penalty as well, because again he made a decision that he didn't have to do that. Didn't have to do that. So yeah. For me, I'd put him in a question mark, but let's see what the chat are saying. That's just ended now. So they're 42% sell, 28% keep, 28% question mark. What did you two both say?
I'd have a question mark over him, if I'm honest.
And Martin, you said sell, yeah?
Sorry, say again. I was just had a kid in my ear going, that.
Would you sell or question mark Kwanzaa?
I'm going to go with you. I'd sell him personally, but there could be potential there.
We'll go question mark then for Kwanzaa. Tyler Morton. We haven't seen much of him. I think he said in January that he probably would want to move on this summer because he's not getting the game time. I reckon we sell Tyler Morton.
Yeah, sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, Connor Bradley. Do we really need to discuss him? He's straight up in keep, yeah?
No, I'd say get rid.
I mean, he like, for such a young player, and just to kind of give you some insight to this fella, he's like the captain of Northern Ireland. Now, not that Northern Ireland is a great, side or whatever, but he's the captain of it, and that in itself for a young fella of his age is certainly something, an achievement in itself. The fact that he came into the limelight last season after Trent's injury, and we almost didn't miss Trent, not to be mentioning Trent again, but I think that's testament to the young lad, and I think he's shown how good he is, and I think keep him at all costs. I think he's a great player.
And I also think as well, the bollocks that he had on a big night at Anfield to go in and smash one of the greatest players in the world and take nothing from him, just say, fuck you.
Yes.
I think he made that made him, because that in 15 years, 20 years is going to be a what happened next.
Yeah.
That kid got up, and the aggression and the passion that come out of his face when he took him clean out was like, come on, give it me again. I don't care who you are. He's one of those old school defenders that he gets the ball, but by Jesus, you get in the way of him, and you're sparked. That was like a Jamie Carragher when Fingio came to the Premier League. Carragher flew through him, didn't he? What was his name? Was it Van Persie? Who? Nani, yeah, it just went straight through, bang, welcome to the Premier League. You could see the bone sticking out of his leg. That was but yeah, Bradley definitely a keeper.
Got some comments. So that's gone, mate. Sorry.
I'd think 10 years, maybe. Yeah, if he's round, I think he is potential captain. He's got potential in there. He's getting it at Northern Ireland. Salah and Van Dijk, we know, are not going to be here 10 years. So I think if we keep Connor Bradley and his passion and the aggression that he's got, I think he's going to make a worldie of a captain.
Yeah, I probably see that. We've got a lot of captains in our squad, haven't we, as well? I mean, we've got Szoboszlai, Salah, Endo, Van Dijk, Connor Bradley.
I think that's why we just schooled the Premier.
You know what I mean? Right then. So we'll do one quick thing now then on here. Is there one player that you would want? Each of us gets one player off of here now that you can move up or down on this board. Realistically, is there anyone in here you would move apart from Trent, obviously, because you got no option on that one? Shauno, anyone you would move up or down?
So if it were up to me, who would I keep and who would I sell?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what we'll do. Yeah, facts. You can just do it. Fuck it. You can just do it.
I would keep Kelleher.
Okay.
I would definitely keep Kelleher.
Martin, is anyone new you'd want to move up or down?
I was hoping Softshite wouldn't say it, but I would keep Kelleher. And I'm sorry, but I know he's a great goalkeeper, but I would have to get rid of Allison because his injury.
So is that the one you want to do? You want me to move Allison down sell?
No, I don't know.
You don't have to have one. If Kelleher was the one you wanted to do, we can just keep Kelleher there.
Oh yeah, right then, yeah. Keep Kelleher there. We can't let him go, but I know he's going. But I love him, mate. I think he's come from nowhere. He's done it, and he kept us in the big game when we needed, and it didn't. It was like no drips of sweat off him. Just got on with it.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm going to do with this. Then I'm gonna when we've finished this, I'm gonna download it. And I'm going to put like an M and an S next to Kelleher for you, and then whichever one I pick, and then we're going to put it up on socials and stuff.
Hang on, what's Muscusi saying here for? Stopping Martin. I talk random shit, so I haven't got a clue what he's going on about.
JT says, what do you guys think will happen with Doak and Bajcetic? I reckon Bajcetic comes back in and gets given a shot in pre-season. I think Ben Doak gets sold this summer.
I'll be with you in a second, lads. I just need to get the washing off the line there because it's about to rain.
Ah, okay. I'll go next then. So for me, anyone I would sell or move, who's a question mark, I'd move down, up or down. Do you know what? You know the one that's looking, that keeps, I feel like he's staring into my soul. It's Joe Gomez, and I feel like I'd move him down to sell.
See, I've had my issues with Gomez. I've always said he's like Jordan Henderson when he first came, a twisted fucking.
M87 said the same as well.
Yeah,
he said sell Gomez. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think that I've only got you on a small screen here. So who's in the question mark? We've got.
So I'll go through it all now if you want, because I've just moved Gomez down. So this is the final rundown. So obviously Trent leaving because his contract expiring. We are selling Darwin Núñez, Chiesa, Jota, Shimikas, Tyler Morton, and Joe Gomez.
Yeah.
We've got question marks over Kanate, Diaz, Elliott, Jaros, and Kwanzaa. And we are keeping Allison, Kelleher, Endo, Virgil, Salah, Dominic, McAllister, Jones, Gakpo, Robbo, Gravenberch, and Bradley.
See, I wasn't on because I had nipped off when you going on about Conte. I don't think he's as good as he once was.
I think Sean said something very similar to that.
I think since all this PSG situation and stuff, I think he wants to go to PSG. And I don't think he's doing it in the right way. It's probably all myth. But I think his head's like Diaz. He's just using Liverpool as a stepping stone. I definitely get rid of him. You know, if he doesn't sign, I would.
I reckon that's why he's in the question mark for me, because I feel like if he doesn't sign by July, then I'm looking to move Kanate on this season. There's no way we can keep going losing players for nothing over and over and over and over again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we need to cash in on some of them now.
Exactly. Oh, my fucking signal's just gone. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this.
I can still see it.
It's gone blank. There we go. It's back again.
So yeah. Question?
No, I've done mine now. So I moved Gomez down from question mark to sell. So
we're selling too many.
To be fair though, if you actually were to look at who we're selling, I'm going to name the ones that we're going to sell. Can any of you argue a case to keep any of them? Darwin Núñez.
I love him.
Shut up.
Chiesa.
No.
Jota.
No.
Shimikas.
Absolutely not.
The only argument you've got for Shimikas is if Robbo goes instead. That's the only one you've got there. Tyler Morton,
No.
Joe Gomez.
Joe Gomez, I think, would want first team football. He's injury prone. I don't think he's backup, or he can back up the squad, and I think he leaves us short at times, a lot of the time. So, therefore, I would possibly sell. What I might move up to keep.
You just done Kelleher?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking.
Can't be greedy.
Well, okay, okay. So let's look at it this way, right? If you're bringing Kelleher back in, you may have to sell Allison.
Well, that's what I said. I'd rather Allison go than Kelleher.
And I don't want to sell Allison, and I don't want to lose Kelleher. But I'd rather see Mohamed Ashvili and Kelleher fight for their place, fight for number one. I don't think Mohamed Ashvili should walk into the squad and think that he's going to be Liverpool's number one when you have the likes of Kelleher there that is well established at the club, well respected at the club. Allison, I think he's been tempted. Just when I was at the clothesline, I was thinking he's been tempted by the Saudis. He very well may leave the at the end of the season. It's or at the end of the window. So I love Allison to bits. He's the best goalkeeper in the world as far as I'm concerned. But I want to stick to my fellow Irishman and keep Allison or keep Kelleher.
Can I just point, because I'm going to have to go off in a minute because the kids. I am totally with you on that one, Sean. Right, that's probably the first time in a long time that you've actually spoke some sense. But I would, me personally, I would put Kelleher as number one. Yeah, we know Allison's head's being turned, and we know his injury. Okay. But then I would also bring Mohamed Ashvili in, and I would allow them two to battle it out for second place. Even though Allison's amazing and he's done a lot, I feel in my arm, Kelleher this year has done more for Liverpool to win this league this year than Allison has. I think he stepped up when he's needed to, and I think he deserves that number one spot. And with the others coming in and looking over the shoulder and injuries, I just think Kelleher is more of a stable keeper.
Good shout. I mean, I'm just checking now. Appearances and that they've both done. So
I can't see Mohamed Ashvili coming into the club and us spending whatever we spent on him and then coming in as third choice keeper.
Well, that's where he has to battle to become second choice with Allison, in my eyes. Allison's not getting any younger.
But can you see him as being second choice or wanting to be second choice?
No, they all want
this season, guys, Kelleher has made 20 appearances in all competitions, conceded 20 goals. Allison, which is loading.
Adam, before you finish that stat there, remember I said to you a few weeks ago, Allison's come back in and he's had, I think it was 15 goals he had conceded against him in such a short time.
Yeah, I mean, he's had 33 appearances in all comps, 29 goals conceded. He's had 13 clean sheets. Whereas, what did Kelleher have? Kelleher had, I think, 9 clean sheets, I think. Yeah, 9. So, yeah, that's a bit
less goals against. I just think Kelleher has played more of a part in this season, with Champions League or be it FA Cup or League Cup or Premier League. I think he's just played a lot more game time. The team's been more of a foundation while he was in there. I know we were left with no choice because Allison was injured sometimes, but Kelleher, to me, this season has been number one for me this season.
Okay, Uncle Dave. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, see you later, Uncle Dave, mate. Miscusi says
I think-
Kelleher needs to go and play first team football, but I wouldn't have him as our number one personally. I don't think he's good enough. Just his opinion.
I think Kelleher's going to go anyway because of
he's going to go
that summer. I think he's definitely going to go, but I would rather him as our number one if Allison's head is turned and if he's injury prone, which he is. I don't know anything about this Muhammad Ashvili. I'm seeing too much nostril there from Martin.
I know, mate.
But yeah, that's where I stand on it.
Okay.
And I think maybe, I mean, if you're looking at that tier list again, maybe give another. I mean, if you're giving 3 years to Nunes, maybe give 3 seasons to Chiesa. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's a tough one.
But you know the thing is with Darwin is I know he's shit, right? Little boy's kicking his head off because I just said I know he's shit.
Is there a but? No.
He gives it all the time. He just makes the wrong decisions. I know he couldn't hit a barn door if it was open, but he tries. And do you know what, Adam? Right, take Allison out for me and put Darwin back in.
Fuck that. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. He's trying to reel me back in. Darwin Núñez, he's like you're saying he's shite, but he puts
mate, I've got a lot of time for him. He frustrates me, and I've said this over the last couple of years.
No.
He frustrates the hell out of me. But you know what? He never gives up. He plays the wrong ball sometimes. He gets a little bit scared, but he always goes.
All the time.
No, it's not. Mate, you ain't slagging him off when he freaking found them 2 goals, mate. I'm betting them won that game for us.
Scott is saying, I actually think Nunes will do well when he leaves. I think in a division where it doesn't demand much out of him.
Nunes is going Wrexham.
I think the Premier League is far too.
It's too big for him.
It's too big for him. It's you know the kind of game that you're going to be playing in the Premier League doesn't suit him. And I think you know he's not a number 9.
Can I just say this as well? And it's like everyone's going on about Isaac from Newcastle. Yeah, he's a good player, but to me, look what happened with. I know he's a totally different kind of player, but look when Andy Carroll come. Andy Carroll was a big fish in a small pond. And he came to Liverpool and he flopped. I think Isaac, if he comes to, he's a big fish in a little pond. I don't think he's going to be able to fit into Liverpool style of football. I don't think he'll do it.
Well,
so not my shout, mate. To be fair, I know loads of people think that he will, but
you have to offer the money, and I don't think Liverpool are going to do that. You know,
no.
Well, then after Chiesa, aren't you? Not Chiesa. Well, what's his name? Quansah.
I don't know. I don't think they'd swap a defender though for a striker and then have to go buy no striker. I mean, the strikers market's pretty thingy this year. Like, there's a load of people that are trying to buy strikers this year. Like Arsenal want a striker, Man United want a striker. You know, and that's just in the Premier League as well. You know,
Super Mendy definitely going to Arsenal.
According to Fabrizio Romano, but David Ornstein said that he was definitely coming to Liverpool.
Fucking Ario.
So, I tell you, fair play to Jack Grealish.
You've just seen it.
Man, she is something else. I'll tell you that.
Right then, guys, anything from anybody else before we finish the stream?
Yeah, well, no, there's a bit of positivity. Virgil van Dijk has joined an exclusive club as Liverpool's latest title-winning captain. So obviously you had Henderson 2019-20, Alan Hansen 85-86, 87-88, 89-90, Graham Souness 81-82, 82-83, 83-84. Jesus, we were brilliant, weren't we? Phil Thompson 79-80, Emil Hughes we had 75-76. 76, 77, 78, 79. We had Tommy Smith, 72-3. Ron Yates, 63-64, 65-66. Willie Fagan, 46-47. Donald McClinley, 21-22, 22-23. And Alex Reisbeck, 1900-101, or 1901 and 1905-06. So, I mean, you know, what a fantastic, and he's the first Dutch captain to lift the Premier League trophy. So fantastic, you know, record for have we lost him? No,
that's my fault.
Record there for Virgil, and I look forward to seeing him lift up the Premier League. I did want to say something about some of the stuff that's going on about or been said about Trent again, because I
for fuck's sake,
Sean, leave it.
But
fuck off.
I think I might leave it for me. What's on your lips?
What?
What's on
Mine?
Martin's lips?
I've had a bit of lip filler in them.
It looks like you've got different color or something. But
it's the sun. It's the sun, isn't it? Been tanned.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to clip that bit out then.
Scott,
I've got some more stuff to say about Trent. For fuck's sake.
No, there was a comment on I think on the WhatsApp you sent me something that really got my goat. Not you, but something that was said that really pissed me off. You know.
Okay.
Should I mention it or should I just leave it?
Just leave it. I think that's just, that guy's just fucking being a prick, and I think it's just a cesspit. You can do a little short thing if you want about it, and I'll put it up on channel. But yeah, let's just leave it for tonight.
Okay. Right,
make
sure, guys.
If that's it for tonight, we'll leave it there. Nice stream. We had a bit of positivity at the end. We're selling half the squad. I think
getting no one.
I think I will clip that out actually and put it up separate, as you said, Sono.
That's what I was going to say.
So we'll do that as well. Glad that Scott actually enjoyed it after his rant over on Discord earlier on. If anyone does fancy joining the Discord, I will put the link in the chat right now for the last, couple of seconds that we're going to be doing this. If you want to be coming in and get accepted into this, just I
got rid of that Discord because I couldn't see any comments in it. It was just it wasn't working on my end, so I just got rid of it.
Scott is after saying, I hope Richard Hughes is watching and taking notes.
He's going to sell
about Liverpool stuff.
He's going to sell Allison. He's going to sell that top line that we've got there. They're the ones he's selling, mate.
Right then, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you all have had a good evening and enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week. I might have another video out for you tonight as well, actually, about Fring Pong. So yeah, catch you then, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will speak to you all next week. Bye, guys.
See you in a bit.